Nigeria. Welcome to another edition of Cleaning Edge. Cleaning Edge is your 30 minutes program designed to sensitize you on the need to be environmentally conscious and how to apply best sanitation practices, all in a bid to achieve a cleaner and sustainable environment. And this program is brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM in collaboration with the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LAWMA. Welcome to another installment. My name is Mike James. So today on the show, we shall be, talking about how LAWMA leverages effective monitoring and compliance in order to promote a sustainable environment. Of course, we understand that effective monitoring and compliance are important when it comes to waste management and environmental sustainability in Lagos State. Now, LAWMA, which is the Lagos Waste Management Authority, has implemented strategies in order to ensure environmental regulations are adhered to, illegal activities such as indiscriminate dumping are curtailed, and structures that undermine waste management efforts are addressed adequately. From inspecting illegal dump spots and sealing properties that violate waste regulations to demolition unapproved structures, especially structures that waste was used to reclaim, and also sensitizing communities shows the importance of monitoring and compliance in ensuring effective and sustainable, cleaner, healthier Lagos. Thus, the Lagos Waste Management Authority ensures environmental order and compliance with environmental regulations in the state, like Lagos, is strictly adhered to. So we shall be looking at the strategies LAWMA has put in place, in terms of leveraging effective monitoring and compliance, all in a bid to promote a sustainable environment. And I have my guest in the studio already. He's Mr. Jimmy Odukoya. He's Deputy Director, Monitoring and Compliance for LAWMA. Good morning, and it feels very good to have you in the studio this morning.
I'm delighted to be here, Mike. Good morning, Lagos.
All right, so let's begin real quick. Let's begin with, having you explain in a layman's term what monitoring and compliance is all about, taking reference from, effective waste management.
Putting it so simply, monitoring and compliance tells you about how LAWMA plan, monitoring our highways, major roads all over Lagos, and as well as taking steps to address area of conflict, area where people are failing to abide by these set regulations, especially in their attitude towards appropriate waste disposal, appropriate waste containerization, ensuring that we clear waste from the highway and give our refuse to LAWMA accredited operators for disposal.
So it's all about monitoring the activities of LAWMA. What about the residents?
It's general. We're talking about residents, we're talking about market, we're talking about commercial premises, we're talking about houses under construction that are generating waste. So it is all encompassing.
All encompassing.
Exactly.
So do you think enforcing environmental regulations is essential? If you think so, why is it so? Why do you think so?
Where there is no law, there is no crime. So we must put regulations in place to check the attitude of the people. People are law-abiding, we know that, but there are some, few excesses here and there. So we go out every day, set agenda to ensure that people comply by the set regulations of putting their waste at the appropriate places, paying their LAWMA bills as at when due, and if you have anything that is awkward, raise alarm to the appropriate quarters. Exactly.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria, we're listening to Cleaning Edge, and we're, talking about how LAWMA leverages effective monitoring and compliance in order to promote a sustainable environment. My guest is Mr. Jimmy Odukoya. Is head monitoring and compliance for LAWMA, which is the Lagos Waste Management Authority. We'll have to go on a very quick break. We'll take a message from our partners. When we return, we shall continue the conversation. And don't forget, we'll be opening up the phone line so you two can, call in. And if you've got questions for my guests or waste management challenges, you can raise it on the conversation table. Stay here with us.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe Office of Drainage Services. Announcer.
If you asked me what a team of heroes look like, I would say people committed to creating a clean and beautiful state. After all, what's there to love about living in a dirty and harmful environment? That's why at LAWMA, we built an exceptional team with people like the fearless Benga who picks up waste from your house and streets, the swift Musa who navigates all waste to the landfills, Dupe, the super cleaner who saves our roads from litters, and of course, our magical recycler, Atinuke, who converts waste to wealth. Everyone at LAWMA is committed to keeping Lagos clean in every way for a safer and healthier Lagos. LAWMA, a league of heroes. Keep Lagos clean.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria, welcome back to the show. It's Clean and Edge here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. And don't forget, this program is brought to you by LAWMA, which is the Lagos Waste Management Authority, in partnership with Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Let's do some home cleaning real quick. Traffic update. Okay, so we understand that, some corridors have been barricaded owing to the marathon race that's ongoing. We'll definitely bring you more updates regarding that, while other corridors have been opened. Looking at the live cameras here, the Ikeja corridor that's coming from General Hospital, just by the roundabout there, I understand the barricades have been taken off, and of course effective traffic monitoring is also taking place. We have traffic minders on ground making sure that the backlog of traffic is eased off as quickly as possible. All right, then, so we're still monitoring things out there. Let's take a look at this one at Apapa, a container-laden truck. Two trucks actually had a head-on collision owing to reckless driving, and that's at Total Bridge in Ward Nagaf. Yes, all right. So, but men of the police force very much on ground doing the needful, although traffic is still quite favorable. It's just a bit of backlog being felt as a result of the collision that occurred some minutes back, but no cause for alarm. All right, then back to the program, Clean and Edge, and of course we're leveraging effective monitoring and compliance in fostering a sustainable environment, the LAWMA recipe. And my guest, Mr. Jimmy Odukoya, is head monitoring and compliance for LAWMA. All right, so before we went on that break, now we talked about the essence of enforcing environmental regulations, whether or not it is essential. And you made us understand why it is very crucial to enforce environmental regulations. But now someone out there is asking, how does LAWMA prevent and manage issues of indiscriminate dumping, especially in public spaces?
Mike, thank you for that. We are actually aware of the fact that it is possible that some people will want to take advantage of certain things to
absolutely
behave in unacceptable ways.
Right.
So LAWMA, number one way of addressing prevention is to ensure that our PSPs are top-notch.
Okay.
They have the right foundation equipment to be able to cut away waste at the right time. I believe is that if waste is nipped at the bud, it is likely to reduce what is coming to the open spaces.
Right.
Okay. Now we also have our advocacy team who goes about to ensure that people are well enlightened. Now, before it comes to my own job, which is to arrest. You understand? But we don't put that as the first step. We put what we are supposed to do first, which is providing services at the doorstep of the people,
Right.
Public enlightenment, you understand, and asking people to containerize their waste. We believe that we have less of littering and black spots around if people use the appropriate bin, for instance,
Right.
to engage their waste, hold it, because you can't just finish up your business in a day and decide to take your waste to the road.
Definitely.
So you should have LAWMA approved bins, put it at the right places at the front of your house so that they can hold enough waste till the next visit of the PSP. So if you don't do that, at the end of your business every day, you'll be under pressure for where to keep your waste. And at the end of the day, you want to take it to the road. If you do that, we have officers, waste policing officers that will be out there. And when you are arrested, that's a whole lot of problem.
But what about areas where PSP, the PSP operators do not have easy access to? And a lot of people have complained that these PSP guys, they come once in a month, or sometimes in 2 months, we don't see them. So how do we handle this situation then?
I want to disagree with that idea that PSP comes once in a month. But in case that such happens, LAWMA has toll-free lines where we can call the office and report if you have not seen your operator as at when due. But that is very, very, very slim.
Okay, but let's look at it from the angle of accessibility now. There are some areas where the roads are really bad. The PSP, compactors cannot, have access to the households there. So what should be done in that regard? What should residents do, or what is LAWMA doing in order to, correct that?
We are mindful of the fact that there are some areas. We have electric wires crossing the road, which might not be convenient for these compactors to go through.
Absolutely.
In such instance, the PSP will stand at a collection point, have his team go down the streets, create awareness for people that were around. If they can, they will move the waste to their collection point where the truck is. Now, in another instance, LAWMA is also partnering with some formidable organization now on how to engage tricycle so that they can go into the inner streets, bring this waste to a collection point. You're within the community. Are you getting my point now?
Absolutely.
We also have LAWMA has designed with various PSP how to clothe some cart pusher.
Okay.
Special cart pusher now. Where we have bad road, even where you find it difficult to navigate with a bike, so then we can ask clothed people to go and into the inner street, bring their waste to the collection point where the truck is waiting. So these arrangements are already in place, and some PSP are already operating this type of arrangement. Exactly.
Lagos, you two can join the conversation on the topic. We're looking at leverage and effective monitoring and compliance in fostering a sustainable environment. And my guest is Mr. Jimmy Odukoya. He's head monitoring and compliance for LAWMA. You can join the conversation, or perhaps if you have waste management challenges, of course. It's 0915-387-7127. You can also connect with us via WhatsApp on 0809-912-0777. 0915-387-7127, 0809-912-0777. So let's look at preventive measures now. What preventive measures does LAWMA have in place? And, how are offenders handled as it has to do with indiscriminate dumping of waste in public spaces?
Now, where we have noticed infractions, the first step we take is to go to such places, talk to them, and we place our intention to seal. If it's a residential apartment or office or market, we go there and serve our contravention notices. So they are aware that they are doing something wrong. We educate them and we ask them that they should do this compliance and we are coming back at a fixed time. You understand? So we'll now send our monitoring officers to do a follow-up and be sure that they have done what we asked them to do.
Right.
Their failure to do this can lead to us taking enforcement action against such residents or commercial premises.
Okay, let's begin to take some reactions. I have this one coming in from Odukoya, and it says, "Good morning, Mike, James, and Mr. Odukoya. There are those night food sellers and alcohol stalls all over Lagos every evening, especially on Ikeja, Allen Avenue, Surulere, Agege, and the likes. Now, most of these people dump eggshells, noodles packs into gutters unchecked. As a community volunteer, I am urged that LAWMA is here to act, as I have sent emails suggesting ways to control these habits, yet no noticeable action from LAWMA." This is from Odukoya.
Mr. Aluko, thank you very much for your reaction. I can assure you that LAWMA is taking a whole lot of steps towards addressing waste coming from unregulated ends like night markets. You see, we are taking steps through our market department to engage these people, provide them with bin and provide them with nylon waste bags so that they can put their waste at the end of their commercial activities every night. So our team that will come around every morning can have access to this and pack them. What we are trying to guide is for them to litter the environment. So we ask them, engage people to sweep after your commercial activity. We provide them with waste bags.
Waste bags.
So they use this to pack their waste, and it will be available. Our team will be available the next day to ensure that we pack this.
Well, is there some sort of enforcement team set up to, checkmate the activities of these night sellers, especially the food sellers?
Exactly. We have what we call waste policing team. So where we have, these inconveniences coming up, we set our people to go there and monitor what they are doing and get them to put their waste at the designated places where it will be easy for our team to pick the next morning.
0915-387-7127, 0809-9120-777. Traffic updates just reaching us. Says that the earlier reported falling truck at mile 12 in Odukoya has been evacuated. Good news coming in from there. But another accident involving a high-capacity bus that ran into the median in Odukoya, descending the bridge, has been recorded. Despite this, traffic is still moving towards Ikorodu. So it's a moving traffic owing to that accident involving the high-capacity bus. And I understand no cause for alarm. Okay, we're still monitoring the situation at mile 12, K2, and traffic is moving well. Yeah, so that's the news just reaching us. And of course, I must say thank you to Raphael Jeremiel for bringing us this information. Connect with us on the show. My guest is Mr. Jimmy Odukoya, Head Monitoring and Compliance for LAWMA. If you've got waste management challenges, or you've noticed, several activities out there, especially at night, or some people, carrying out some activities that's detrimental to the environment, of course, you can raise it on the program. It's 0915-387-7127, 0809-912-0777. We'll go on another break, just take a message. When we return, we shall continue the conversation. Stay here with us.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damages damage to our public structures. Disease from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe ni o. Office of Drainage Services. Announcer.
All right, Lagos, we're back on the block to talk cleanliness in Lagos State, courtesy the Lagos Waste Management Agency, LAWMA. And today we're leveraging effective monitoring and compliance in order to foster a sustainable environment. My guests are still seated here in the studio. All right, so let's look at, I understand some markets have been sealed in the past. Some shops have also been sealed as well, owing to non-compliance, with environmental laws and regulations.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the approach LAWMA takes in sealing these non-compliant markets and properties.
When we notice infractions at some of these commercial premises, market especially,
Right.
we send in contravention notices to them.
First of all, before any action is taken,
we send contravention. We have identified you are failing in this area,
Yes.
and we'll give you time to correct yourself.
now how long was the duration like?
Sometimes the duration could be 24 hours.
Oh,
it depends on
okay.
the severity of the situation. If we have noticed that your drainage channels are deliberately packed with refuse, we are not going to give you 1 week. We are not going to give you 2 weeks. We will ask you, by this time tomorrow, we expect you to have cleared this. Because the waste we have found here is assumed to come from your place. It is now left to you to clean it immediately or to want to challenge our position that this is coming from you. But most times they cannot, because we have our monitoring officers that will give us an idea how they arrive at their conclusion that this is actually coming from you.
And for those who fail to do the needful, what happens then?
We
what
have
drastic
appropriate
action is
sanctions.
taken? Okay.
We such places could be sealed immediately. Even there are some issues that you can't postpone till tomorrow. So you take immediate action and move in your men and engage these people, possibly seal it up, you understand, and escalate that issue to the market advisory committees, in charge of addressing this type of nuisance.
So is there any collaboration between LAWMA, that's a LAWMA enforcement team, and other enforcement agents like LAGESC? I understand they've done some, raiding and some, with the task force, Mike, and the KAI. I want you to tell us more about this.
We have a robust relationship with our sister agencies, Lagos State Environmental Sanitation called KAI or LAGESC, the Lagos State Environmental Task Force on Environmental Sanitation and Special Offences. We also have robust relationship with our environmental health officers as well as other agencies of government. Our target is the more you are to address this issue, the better. So, Mike, so we go in with, for instance, when we address the issue of violations at Alaba International Market, it was a robust cooperation between LAWMA, Task Force, and LAGESC. The same thing with when we address the issue at Odukoya Market and what's it called, Trade Fair Complex, and some other jobs like that. So we continually engage ourselves in cooperation that can help rid Lagos of
and so how effective has this, collaboration been in ensuring, compliance?
I can tell you it's been quite effective. The nuisance won't stop coming, and we won't stop addressing it. We are not going to be tired of taking steps, and I'm sure that it gets to a point the people constituting this nuisance will have to give up. You understand? So we continually have plans and program, especially even in advance, in anticipation of where areas of conflict could come up in terms of people dumping waste where we don't want them to dump waste. Exactly.
All right. So, in carrying out these enforcement activities, I understand there are certain common challenges LAWMA faces, in ensuring that these people get to comply with environmental laws and regulations. So I want you to, talk to my listeners. What are some of these challenges LAWMA is faced with in this regard?
First and foremost, how do you manage when you see an underage coming to drop waste on the road and maybe a 5-year-old child bringing waste to the road? Are you going to take such a child to the police station?
No, you won't.
You understand? So what we have to be intelligent in managing some of this problem because we see that the attitude of our people is dynamic. When you're asking your little child to bring refuse to the road, we know that child didn't ask herself or himself to come to the road. So we will follow the child to the house and serve intention to seal against that house. You see, we ask them, do you have registered PSP? That is to manage your waste. That is the first point of call.
Okay.
So if they can provide us with a receipt which shows that they are patronizing LAWMA, that give us a calmness that, okay, we can address this from another angle.
Right.
Your inability to do that is a flashlight that you are not even compliant. So such a facility, such a house, is flagged as a notorious place that we need to deal with immediately. So we have all these steps that we take to ensure that we are not just inconveniencing people, but we are taking steps to do the appropriate thing. Yeah. Another common challenge is when people decide that I'm not going to patronize
the PSP operators.
Yeah, PSP operators. Some people will tell you that I take my waste from my house to my office.
Which is an offense.
You can imagine.
Yes.
So people tell you, I have a way of managing my waste. I spoke with a woman last week, and she said that she's managing her waste independently of LAWMA. I asked, how did you manage? Does
she have a personal dump site?
No, she told me that she went for a course in Port Novo in Songhai, where she can manage her waste 100%. And then I asked her, Ma, do you have a certification from LAWMA that you are now granted permission to manage your waste? It will be a delight if we have people that have means of managing their waste. But it should be verified. So if you claim to have such, we want to know. If it is something that is acceptable, we want other people to emulate. You understand? So that we can reduce what is actually going to the landfill site. But you are not going to decide on your own that I'm going to manage my waste without somebody verifying and certifying that is acceptable.
Lagos, Nigeria. Well, our time is fast spent, Mr. Odukoya. I'm afraid I must let you go now. But before I let you go, what will be your final thoughts to Lagosians, your parting thoughts in 30 seconds?
Lagos is our city. Lagos is a fantastic place. This is the biggest, this is the home to almost all Nigerians. You understand? We should take steps to ensure that we make it an attractive environment for people that want to come and do business with Lagos, even for our own daily life, for our health. So people should patronize LAWMA. That is the foundation. People should stop bringing waste to the highway. If you have challenge with your pickup time or with your PSP, there are various numbers you can call, toll free, that you can reach out to LAWMA, or you can write to LAWMA management. If you're a company or even individual, you can write to the LAWMA MD and ask that your challenges be addressed. I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, you will have somebody call you and take steps to ensure that whatever issues you have raised is positively addressed.
I must say a very big thank you for coming on board the program, Mr. Jimmy Odukoya. Lagos, Nigeria. Mr. Jimmy Odukoya is head monitoring and compliance for LAWMA, and together, been looking at leveraging effective monitoring and compliance in order to foster a sustainable environment, taking it from the LAWMA's perspective. And also, I must say, very big thank you. But before I, draw the curtain down the program, don't forget I can connect with LAWMA via the following platforms. You can send a text if you've got waste management challenges or one or two complaints to make. You can send a text message to 080 000 52 962, or you can connect with LAWMA via socials. That's Facebook, lawma.gov, Instagram, lawma_gov, or send an email to info@lawma.gov.ng. Connect with LAWMA via WhatsApp on 0708 060 1020. That's 0708 060 1020. Also, I must appreciate the person of Mrs. Kadri, yes, the Director, Public Affairs for LAWMA. And also in the building is Mr. Olu, also from the Public Affairs Department, LAWMA. Yes. My name is Mike. Just on behalf of my executive producer, Tayo Akole, Cleaning Edge will come your way again next week, Saturday at exactly 9:15. But till then, do have yourself a wonderful weekend. My name is Mike James.
Stop it! Yes, you don't do it! Indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels is prohibited in Lagos State. It has to stop. Henceforth, it's zero tolerance for building or erecting structures on drainages, setbacks, and alignments in Lagos State. Government is doing its best to make our environment clean and safe. As responsible citizens, we too should play our part to sustain it. Dumping of refuse into drainages, canals, or gutters destroys our roads and drainage systems, causes flooding in some areas, and poses great dangers to lives and damage to our public structures. Desist from disposing refuse into drainage channels and canals. It's damaging to the image of Lagos State. Remember, there are laws and regulations guiding the disposal of waste in Lagos State. Offenders will be prosecuted according to the law. Do the right thing. Use refuse bins, not canals, gutters, or drains. Dispose waste responsibly. Protect our drainage system. Contribute to a safer environment for us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni o. Office of Drainage Services. Announcer.